Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. The U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, said that the United States is profoundly disappointed by UNESCO's World Heritage Committee's decision to place Bethlehem's Church of the Nativity on the World Heritage Endangered list. David Killian said of UNESCO, this body should not be politicized. The Anti-Defamation League also expressed their disappointment with the decision today, agreeing that the bid to put the church on the list was a political one. ADL National Director Abraham Foxman said, as a result, the United States, which is not a member of the World Heritage Committee, should reevaluate the value of remaining a member of UNESCO. The IDF says it will deploy highly sophisticated observation balloons to gather intelligence along Israel's problematic border with Egypt. The balloons, which are equipped with state-of-the-art electronic surveillance technology and provide 360 degrees of visibility for up to 5 miles, are already in use along the Gaza border. Captain Shachar Golbari, commander of the Gaza Division's balloon unit, said that the balloons were very helpful in last week's violent confrontation along that border, saying balloon networks cooperated to no small degree with IDF artillery and the Air Force to destroy no small number of launchers and terrorist cells. The Times of Israel reports that according to data released by the Jewish Agency this week, Aliyah, or immigration to Israel, was slightly down overall for the beginning of this year. However, the numbers from Western Europe were up by 20%. France, Britain, Italy, Holland, and Scandinavia all showed a significant increase in individuals moving to Israel, with a total of 994 new immigrants in the first 5 months of this year, as opposed to 771 in the same period last year. The data also showed that more than half of the 5,961 new immigrants arriving in Israel from January to May of 2012 came from the former Soviet Union, and 850 came from Ethiopia. The number of new immigrants from the U.S. were just slightly lower than the same time period last year. The report comes right at the onset of summer, which tends to bring the highest Aliyah rate of immigrants to Israel. The JTA reports that 3 U.S. senators introduced legislation Thursday aimed at helping aging Holocaust survivors. The measure, named Responding to Urgent Needs of Survivors of the Holocaust, or RUSH, was introduced by Democratic Senators from Maryland Barbara Mikulski and Ben Cardin and Republican Senator Mark Kirk from Illinois. The RUSH Act would amend the existing Older Americans Act by adding Holocaust survivors to the list of groups that receive preference for services under that act, including transportation and nutrition programs. The Jewish Federations of North America praised the legislation. JFNA Board Chair Kathy Manning said, "As this special community ages, we must ensure their dignity by empowering them to live as independently as possible." The Jewish hospital in Berlin has decided to suspend all circumcisions of children for religious reasons, following the ruling by a German court earlier this week, until the legal situation is clarified. A German court in Cologne had ruled on Tuesday that circumcising young boys on religious grounds amounts to bodily harm, further saying that the child's right to physical integrity trumps freedom of religion, and that parents having their sons circumcised can be brought before a judge. The president of Germany's Central Council of Jews, Dieter Graumann, called the ruling unprecedented and insensitive and urged the country's parliament to clarify the legal situation to protect religious freedom against attacks. A grant from the Foundation for Jewish Camp will bring Orthodox and Reform Jewish campers together to celebrate the 4th of July next week. The Americafest celebration will bring Mississippi campers from the Orthodox Camp Darom in Grenada to the Union for Reform Judaism's Henry S. Jacobs Camp in Utica, marking the first time the two have come together for an inter-camp program day. Jacobs Camp Director Jonathan Cohen said, "While the two camps practice their Judaism differently, their missions are very much the same, to strengthen the Jewish identity of young people from small and isolated Southern Jewish communities by providing them with outstanding programs and powerful Jewish memories." And finally, it was perhaps not your typical beauty contest that crowned Romanian-born Chava Hershkovitz as its winner this week. Hershkovitz, who is 79, was one of 14 finalists of a beauty pageant held in Israel's port city of Haifa for Holocaust survivors. While some criticized the event as trivializing the horrors of the Holocaust, organizers of the event called it a celebration of life. Part of the competition included the women sharing details of their personal stories. All of the participants were also involved in community work in Israel. Hershkovitz told the Associated Press, "It's not easy at this age to be in a beauty contest, but we're all doing it to show that we're still alive." And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.